Hi and welcome to this HTMi podcast. Today I have Martin Jost next to me. Martin Jost is a lecturer for management here at HTMi, and he's going to tell us a little bit more about time management today. Martin, time management. Can you tell us a little bit more about time management and its importance and why it is so important?
Yes. Time management is an issue that's becoming more and more relevant in all forms of industry and beyond that, academia and even personal lives. I just want to go off from time management a little bit because one of the predominant factors of suboptimal time management would actually be what we commonly know as stress. And stress you'll see every day happening. Stress, and one of the most indicative factors of stress, how we notice it's happening, is an alteration in behavior, a movement away from the norm in individuals. Now what often this is termed is called also cognitive dissonance, and what actually happens is that stress causes an ulterior behavior, and this behavior is often fueled by your attitudes. Your attitudes again come from your thoughts and the beliefs that you have. For example, about work, you have thoughts and beliefs and certain attitudes about work. For example, I do too many over hours, this naturally causes a change in behavior. The difference between your attitudes and your behavior cause that stress. Now, time management is a fundamental key part of that, and is very, very relevant and very effective in reducing that stress. So what we see is a change in behavior, and what one can do is try and change that behavior to change the attitudes, and that is very effective if one can teach that time management as such to reduce that.
So you talked about here at HTMi we work with academia, and obviously can you tell us a little bit more about the difference between time management in work and academia?
Absolutely. First of all, time management is very universal. You'll find it everywhere, in the need to do it everywhere, be it in industry, be it at home, and be it in your studies, for example. I like to call time management a conscious and systematic reduction of complexity. Now what this means, it sounds very, very confusing in itself, but let me start at the end. Complexity, what does that mean? And especially for students, what does that mean? The students have a lot of activities, and they have a lot of things to deal with, especially in their studies, and especially here at the HTMi, you'll find that students have to take control of their study life, their academic life. They'll have to take control of the events that they do here at the school. They'll have to take care of all other operational duties that they have. And so there's quite a lot of things that confuse the students. Now, if they actually consciously make an effort to systematically, that means in a very formal way, reduce that complexity, that will very, very much so reduce the stress and increase the performance that these students will have because of that reduced stress.
So what techniques would you say can be used in an academic setting to reduce time and stress?
Okay, well there's a couple of interrelated things we do. I don't think there's one magical technique. So things that we use here at the school, for example, that are very, very effective are, for example, activity mapping. That means mapping out all the assessments and duties that students have over a whole semester. This makes a very formal and a very clear picture of what the student has to deal with, reducing the complexity and reducing the stress. Secondly, we go into a dialogue with the student about this time plan, and we say to the student, okay, things like, where could there be bottlenecks? Where are there things that are possibly unclear that need clarification? The third thing we do is we actually give our students, we give them the opportunity to fill out a stress diary. This is a tool that we've customized for the HTMi, and the students use this to monitor their stress and find causes for the stress and also possible solutions for the stress.
Okay.
And the last thing we do is that we give our students a learning diary. And the learning diary is really focused on the academia, and it brings this relationship between time management, stress, and their performance. And on a weekly basis, they write basically a diary on how they've learned and how they've learned possibly well, what worked and what didn't work. And we go into discussions with them, and we look at that as teachers and lecturers on a weekly basis, and have this dialogue with the students so that we help them manage their time better. and this essentially has been proven to be very beneficial for the students, and has also proven to increase the performance that they have in academic life.
Okay, yeah. Great. Well, thank you very much for this information and insight on time management and stress. With me was Martin Jost, lecturer for management here at HTMi.